Welcome to the 10-day growth hacking challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today, we are here with Kareem Halal, and he has ProTenders. We are super excited about this because we're moving on to hack number 2, and we got some exciting results to talk about hack number 1. Before we get started, this is the growth thinking methodology. This is what the challenge is based on. If you haven't got a copy, do get one. This is what we do in the challenge if you want to implement and do some of the things that we do on the challenge. Moving forward, welcome aboard, Kareem. Welcome back to hack number 2. Before I forget, anyone who wants to learn more about Kareem and what he does, hit him below in the description, reach out to him and connect with him. Kareem, how you doing?
Very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm excited. Let's make some things happen, man. Let's start.
Well, they are happening.
The good. This is what we want, man. Action. This is what we want. We want that stuff rotating. Let's start with the results on hack number 1 that you shared with me. I think it's really important for people to hear that. For just as a reminder, you can go back to video number 1. This is the counter hack, literally a counter, not a counter as an opposite, just in case, no misinterpretation there. Kareem, tell us just a little bit about the hack. Tell us some of the results and what they look like.
Sure. So what we did is we ended up changing the content on the homepage to really have 2 versions right now, or actually 2 or 3 different versions. To showcase to people how much traction is happening on the platform, how much traffic, how many signups are going on, and how big is the site, to induce some FOMO of not being on it. So the first version that we have is a simple 1 tagline that shows exactly how many bids we've done on the platform, how many customers on the platform. And the other one is a more counter format, which basically changes every single time you go based on actual data. And so what we have with these 2 A/B tests that we're doing now is that we have about 20% increase in signups from last week.
Good.
So the number of signups actually has been quite substantial. And so what we're doing now is we're looking at which one of these 2 variations is giving us the best results, and then we'll be tweaking the content of the copy to basically modify that. And that was literally nothing else but this. So there hasn't been any other change to the platform or the marketing messages, but the counter right now. So just by that by itself made quite a bit of a difference.
Fantastic. So the counter, so you measured bids, and what was the other measure? Number of bids?
So bids and number of companies.
Number of companies. Okay. So have you tried value yet? Like coming to a live counter around value as well?
Well, that's the number of bids. So the bid value is about $45 billion. That's the one we actually have in terms of value. And the number of companies, about 48,000 companies. So it's really these 2 that we're playing out with.
Okay, awesome. And just keep them running as they move along. So that's good. I'm happy to hear that 20% increase on it's an incremental move, but has significant impact. I've seen this happen, as I mentioned to you, in other growth hacks that we've done. Keep us posted on that. Hack number 2 always gets me excited. Data enrichment is a big thing. Siphoning is, as you can say, I hate using this word, but an old school play in the playbook of growth hackers. Siphoning has been happening from day 1 as growth hacking. One of the most famous examples in the world is Airbnb and what they did to Craigslist. And this siphoning continues to happen in different ways, in more sophisticated tools, more sophisticated channels. And yeah, that's hack number 2. Tell us what has happened, what the results look like, and what's next.
So we're doing it right now. So one of the things that we've been trying to focus on is how to maximize the amount of data that we have in the platform without spending a fortune on it, or doing it more automatically. And so what we used to do very manual before, we've been trying to find ways to automate. And so we've found a few sites of information that have public information. So what we're doing now is we're trying to find the best way for us to collect this information and combine it, because you have different sites that have different parts of information. So we have found a third-party tool that allows us to do this, to run sequentially, to run periodical scans of databases, and then collate them into a single API call. So that's going on right now. We should have the first updates for it by the end of this week, hopefully. And so that will allow us to drastically increase the number of data that we have, again, at a much reduced cost compared to what we used to do before. Because that is today one of the biggest challenges that we have, is how do we keep our data fresh constantly without having to spend massive amounts of money on it. So that's again, one of the biggest reasons for churn and one of the biggest blockers for our sales. So the increased number of leads from the hack number 1 plus that means we should be able to get much better retention and more conversion from leads to sales soon. Perfect.
So just for those tuning in, so the idea behind siphoning is being able to and in this particular, it's about pre-developing profiles. So at the center of the data collection process on the site is developing profiles and then enriching those profiles and then expanding on those profiles. And that becomes the data set and the insights. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kareem. Is that
exactly?
Yeah, perfect.
Well,
So
it's two things.
Yep, sure.
The first thing is, as a user, one of those magical aha moments is when you log into the platform and you see the profiles already have built. So it minimizes the time you have, or the amount of work you have to do to actually build a profile, because nobody wants to build a profile. You want to have made already. And the consequence is that the quicker your profile is set up, the quicker you get value for what you have, which just, again, means more leads for you. So this is one of those aha moments where you just log in, your thing is already have built, you just have to complete a few more steps and your thing is live, right? So it's a great experience for onboarding new customers. But two, since we also resell data, the more data you have that's always continually refreshed, the more chances you have of having people find what they want.
So it's two birds with one stone, basically the updating enrichment of the data and then getting new customer acquisition because it's pre-filled. I think that's the most important part. You remove the painful part of somebody having to copy and paste their own website at minimal, right? Over and over again. You've got, like, of course you do way more than that. I'm oversimplifying it, but the point is, like, and as you mentioned, the keyword there's onboarding. Onboarding, again, as I've mentioned through many of the videos I talk about, onboarding is one of the areas I see a ton of weaknesses in businesses. And if they've made some tweaks in there, they would see exponential growth happen on the aggregate level of what they do. You'd be shocked what a really good onboarding program or strategy would do to the overall results. And this is perfect because it just streamlines and automates it in a snap and just gets these guys moving in there fast and surprising them. And, you know, that element of surprise, I think is very powerful.
Well, I think it's because fundamentally the profile is a freemium model. And so again, you have to hook them in right away. If you don't hook them in right away with at least the profiles, then it's very hard for you to go and upsell them on anything else. And you want that freemium experience to be as smooth as possible, which is why having them have these half-built profiles, or even more sometimes, quite interesting. Imagine you going on LinkedIn and you having to repopulate LinkedIn every time you basically create a profile, compared to you going in and already having your schools, your jobs, your companies there already. So it makes life much easier, and it really drives the value of, well, we know everything about the ecosystem, come with us. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's going to do very well. So we'll wait for some updates when we, I guess, do the last hack to see how that's happened, and hack number one to just see some of those results. The brilliant part of your business is that you measure everything. And if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And that's what actually shows us real results. It's not just up in the air. So I'm always excited to work with very data-rich companies because we can actually get our hands dirty to get very granular to some very interesting things. So there we go.
There you go.
Awesome. So anything else you want to share on this hack before we go on, or we see you in the next hack?
Next hack.
That is. There we go. Thank you, guys. Get more information below. See you, Kareem.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye.